Good morning, guys. So it is about 5:40 in the morning. Jack has been up since 5 and I eventually just gave up. Went ahead and got him out of bed because he was not going to go back to sleep. He is up for the day. So sometimes, oh y'all, look at my hair. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you just get up and get your kid up and go get on with the day. Trying to find his sippy cup in the dishwasher. I know it's in here. There it is. Oh my goodness, this little boy. Hey man. Hey. Yeah, it's still dark outside, man. It's not daytime yet. That's how early you woke up. Jack. You woke up so early. Yeah, we'll get you food in a minute. Gotta put the stopper thing in there. Okay. Come here. There you go. Anyway, another gallon of milk down. We've got one more left, so that's fine. Anyway, I already made the boys, well, I made Aidan's food from last night already. So I don't even have to do that. I really just have to get the boys up and get them dressed. But they still have another hour they could sleep. So there's no need in me getting them up right now. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee, decaf coffee, because I had decaf. I have swapped back over to decaf because pregnancy, caffeine, I just don't want to drink a ton of caffeine, so decaf it is, even though I'm super tired. I would love a real cup of coffee. It's okay though. Let's see. Plans for today. Homeschooling. And I don't even know. I think karate is today. Yeah, it's a karate day for Piper. So homeschooling, karate. Some of the things. I'm so tired. I can't even think. I'll let you guys go. I'll be back when I'm a little more awake. We had a morning, huh, Aidan? So Aidan had a poopy explosion and had to get a very thorough bath before school this morning. That's okay. That happens sometimes, huh, bud? Say that happens sometimes. Anyway, putting shoes on, getting his backpack, then we gotta get Keezy dressed, huh? Yeah, you look handsome anyway. Can you say Andrushka? No, he's like, I do not feel like talking this morning, Mom. Oh my goodness. There you go. There you go. Can you say bus? Say paka paka. Can you say paka paka? Hey, quit poking your eyes. Can you say paka paka? Aidan. Gavarichi paka paka. Paka paka means bye bye in Ukrainian. Sometimes he'll say it. See, sometimes, huh? Alright, let's get your shoes on, man. Alright, Keys ready. You gonna have a good day at school? Yeah. There we go. Alright, you can go to the front door if you want to. You do it. He's like, oh.
You got a fucking shirt on. And that's it, dude.
Wait, where's the front door? Watch your steering. Oh, you guys, I hate this chair. I'll be so glad when you get a new one. It keeps like popping backwards. Boys are waiting on the bus. Aidan does so well waiting, so does Keys. But Keys always does well.
Mama.
Yeah, bud.
Can I buy Pop-Tarts?
Can you buy Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Buy.
No, I don't think you can buy Pop-Tarts.
Mom?
We don't have any Pop-Tarts, buddy. We stopped buying Pop-Tarts. They're not good for you.
What?
They're not good for you.
I'm so hungry.
You're so hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You just ate stuff. Do you want a banana and apple in your backpack?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. We'll go get you some banana and apple. Okay, guys. So, we just wrapped up homeschooling. I took a shower earlier and I didn't even brush my hair. I just... whatever. It is what it is. I feel like being real with you guys, and I don't always look pretty. In fact, most of the time I don't look pretty because I don't leave the house a lot of days. So anyway, I was getting a little bit of work done, catching up on emails. I just got Jack down for a nap. It's 1 o'clock. Just got him down. Homeschooling took a little bit longer because of Jack today, because he's so fussy. I was up at 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. And I think I figured out why he was up so early. Our air conditioning upstairs decided to conk out on us. So it was really, really hot this morning, and it's still really hot. I think I got it fixed. I like had to flip the breaker and do a few things in the attic, but I think I got it squared away, because it is currently on. So fingers crossed. Anyway, so I wanted to just comment on this and mention it because it did come up today, and I don't know that I've ever really delved into this aspect of the boys' trauma and like their past and that type of thing. I don't know, because it doesn't come up often, but it came up today. It came up this morning. So every morning our routine is the boys get up, they eat something for breakfast, they get dressed, they get their backpacks on, they go wait by the door. That's our typical morning. There are occasional mornings that the boys don't get breakfast. Usually Aidan isn't into eating really early in the morning, so I do send Aidan to school with blended breakfast that he eats at school. So he usually will wait till he gets to school to eat. And that's just what we have figured out works best for Aidan. However, Narkeez eats breakfast at home before he gets on the bus. There's maybe a couple mornings here and there that things are crazy and he doesn't get to, and I will put his breakfast in his bag for him and he'll eat his breakfast at school. That's like once in a blue moon. It's not very often. But his teachers know that if his breakfast is in his backpack, then he didn't eat at home, or at least I thought they knew. However, his teachers are amazing, and they do so many amazing things for my kids, and they love my boys so much, and I literally cannot say enough good things about them. And they're busy, so I totally understand if things kind of slip through the cracks a little bit, I guess. But anyway, so this morning I was getting Narkeez ready, I was getting him dressed, and I go to like pull back his covers, and all of a sudden I see like this hard round looking thing under his fitted sheet. And so I'm like, wow, Narkeez, what is that? Did you put your bouncy ball in the bed with you? So I dig it out and it's an apple. So I'm like, okay, I just thought maybe Jack stuck it in there, whatever. I didn't think about it. So I continue, I get him dressed, he gets in his chair, I go back in his room to get out his dirty clothes, make his bed, whatever. And as I'm pulling the covers back over his bed, 2 more apples fall out and a granola bar. So I was like, what? So I asked Narkeez about it, and he just said that was his food. That's all he would say, was my food. my food. And that was the only explanation he wanted to give me. So I was like, okay, that's fine, no big deal. So I put the apples in the granola bar. I put 1 apple and 1 granola bar in his bag for him. And then I put the other 2 apples in the kitchen so he can have them after school. And I didn't make a big deal about it. But then we're by the front door, and he'd already eaten. He had a bowl of cereal and a couple of things of toast and a few bites of fruit. I think he drank most of his orange juice. He had breakfast. So he's sitting by the door and he's all happy and he's chatting or whatever. And I'm sitting on the stairs with them waiting on the bus. And Narkeez kind of looks over at me and he goes, "Me eat school." And I said, "Yeah, buddy, you get to eat lunch at school." He said, "No, me eat 2 breakfast at school." And I was like, wait, what? And I thought he was asking me to send him to school with breakfast. And I said, well, buddy, we don't send breakfast to school unless you didn't eat at home. I was like, so I'm not gonna put breakfast in your backpack today, but you have a snack. And I reminded him of the apple and the granola bar, whatever. He said, "No, me eat number 2 breakfast at school." And I was like, what? So I asked him again, and he told me he eats breakfast at school every morning. And so I'm like, what? So I text his teacher and I kind of explained to her like what's going on. They have snacks and it's not a big deal. Like they have tons of snacks and everything in the classroom. And I'm sure he just sees other kids eating stuff and he asks for stuff too, and they give it to him. However, that's not so much the issue. It's more of the issue that he's been lying to his teachers and saying he doesn't eat at home, and he does. So it hasn't come up in a while. Food trauma, especially with Narkeez, is something that tends to come and go. I think it's always there. It's definitely always there, but I don't know. He has certain triggers and we don't always know what those triggers are necessarily. So when he said that and when his teacher told me those things, I realized that the apples and the granola bar were him hoarding food in his room in case he was hungry for whatever reason. So, goodness. So both boys have food trauma. They've always had food trauma. We've always known this. It comes from the PTSD and just the lack, just having the lack of things as they were growing up in their formative years. They just didn't have a whole lot, and that includes food. So Narkeez in the orphanage would, you know, if he got a meal or whatever, he would save some of that meal and he would hide some bread in a bookshelf, or he'd hide apples in his bed, I guess, or, you know, whatever it was that he could get his hands on. That way he would remember where that food was and he could go back to it later if a meal was skipped or not given to him, or if he got too hungry or whatever. So hoarding food, hiding food, all of that is a symptom of food trauma, which both boys have. Aidan does not hide food. I've never caught him like hiding food. Aidan's food trauma is more based on the fact that he feels like he never gets enough to eat. I could feed him bowl after bowl after bowl after bowl of food and he would eat every single bowl until he threw up. So that's kind of Aidan's food trauma. Just the fact that if it's there, he's going to eat it. But Aidan's is a lot more manageable because I control all of his meals. So his isn't as big of a deal. But with Narkeez, sometimes it's just different, you know? So I had to have the talk with Narkeez this morning about how it's important that we don't lie and we tell the truth and we be honest and truthful. And I had to remind him, you know, you get fed, you get snacks, all of that type of thing. One way we have combated his food trauma is we always make sure that he has open access to apples, granola bars, bananas, those type of things that are healthy. Like if he were to eat a ton of them, like it's not gonna hurt him. It's healthy food. It's okay for him to eat it. So he does have access to that. That's where he got the apples and the granola bar and that type of thing. But I don't know, if he comes across another adult who he thinks doesn't know the rules, he will lie and say, "I haven't eaten, I'm so hungry," and they'll feed him again and he'll eat again. So to me, it's less of the issue of, oh, my kid's eating too much, because I don't really think that's the case. I don't want him lying about it, I guess. It's hard, but at the same time, it's challenging. It's challenging to take a kid who has those food traumas and who has those coping mechanisms, because those are all coping mechanisms for him. And he gets upset when he gets caught or whatever. I don't know. It's just hard. And Narkeez is a generally very truthful child. I mean, he'll tell you the truth. He doesn't lie, but he will lie about food. He will lie through his teeth about food, constantly. And I've been noticing the last week, I'll feed him or something, or I'll say, hey Keys, you want a snack? And he'll say, no, I don't want a snack. And I'm like, okay buddy, that's fine, it's here if you want it. And then an hour later he's crying and yelling at me that I didn't give him a snack, even though he told me he didn't want a snack. So I've been seeing a little bit of that coming up. This is not a new issue. This is nothing new. It has nothing to do with, oh, he's not getting fed enough, or he's not being fed often enough, or oh, he's a teenager and he's overly hungry now and he just needs more to eat. It's none of that. It's all about control. It's all about control. So when he feels like he's out of control in other aspects of his life, he starts to default back to the food trauma type of thing. And he does the same thing like with toileting, like going to the bathroom. He will try to control those situations as well. And it's just, that's what he had control over when he was in the orphanage. And old habits die hard, you guys. It's hard. It's just a thing. And it's just a matter of teaching those around him and teaching those in his life what he's dealing with, what he's emotionally and mentally going through, so that we can all help him to cope a little bit better. But that being said, food trauma can look differently for everybody. But when you go 10 years in an orphanage and you're hungry a lot of that time, that's a really hard thing. It's a really hard thing to break. So even after being home for 6 years, we will still have moments where the food trauma will bubble to the surface. And it's not all the time, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit because it did come up today, and it's been a very, very long time since I've noticed any like obvious, like, they're going through a time in terms of food right now. Aidan's okay. Aidan has been great. When Aidan goes through his food trauma issues, he'll just cry. He'll just cry constantly after his food is over. When his food's gone, he'll cry. So that's how I know when Aidan is having a hard time. But he's been doing good lately. Aidan's been doing awesome, but today it was Keezy, so we just had to deal with that. I had another talk with his teacher and his aides, and they're understanding and they're accommodating for him. And I tried to make it clear, like, the issue isn't, oh, he gets to eat again. Like, he can have another snack. Like, that's not the issue. I just don't want him lying about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him going to school and being like, Mama didn't feed me this morning, because that's not true. Mommy did feed you. But I don't know. Anything food related is hard. Anyway, I'm going to get some work done. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. My iPad is dying. It is at like 10% thanks to my 2-year-old. And I have about 17. I have about 17 emails I have to answer and go through. So hopefully it won't die on me before I get through them.